We're going to be looking at the best strikers in the UFC currently, some honorable mentions, and I'm looking for the guys who, when they stand up, their opponents are immediately shooting. These are the guys that have crazy highlight reels, make their opponent look like they've been through hell and back. Some of my criteria: effective striking, hit, don't get hit, and do damage. Those are my two biggest things. You got to do damage, and you got to hit, and not get hit. But you could also throw in finishing ability there too. But with that being said, we're going to start at flyweight. This one's going to be already controversial off the bat. I think it's close between a few, but this is who I got to go with. I got to go with Kai Asakura. He had Pantoja shooting like crazy right off rip. Now I know Pantoja landed a few good shots, but that's all mainly due to the threat of the takedown. Um, Obviously, other notable mentions, you got Steve Erceg, you got Kai Car France, Brandon Moreno. All those guys are amazing. But I got to give it to Kai Asakura. He has insane speed, crazy technique. Looking at his past career, his striking was his bread and butter. I mean, that's where he found all of his success. He doesn't really go to the grappling. He's throwing flying knees off rip. He just comes out in the first round like a bat out of hell. So I think if you get two guys in the flyweight division standing, pure stand up, Kai Sakura beats everyone. I mean, we've seen Kai Car France get outstruck. We've seen Moreno get outstruck. Roy Val's in there too, but I think you just got to give it to Kai Sakura. He has more experience and he's just much more effective with his striking than a lot of other flyweights. I will say about Kai Car Francis, his power is unreal. He has crazy power, pretty good speed. The Kai Car France that is, but like I said, I just think Kai Sakura is much more well rounded and he has a much deeper tool bag when it comes to the striking. He's craftier. He might even have a higher striking IQ. Overall MMA though, obviously Kai Car France is better than Kai Asakura, but that's what I got for flyweight. For bantamweight, it's easily Sean O'Malley. I mean, he had Piotr Jan shooting. Obviously, Marab was shooting. He even managed to hurt Marab. He was able to catch Aljo clean. He put on a massacre against Chris Moutinho. I mean, his kicks are crazy. He has insane distance management. He has crazy power for his build and his weight class. Insane speed, crazy footwork. He can hit while moving back, moving forward. There's not really any holes in his striking game. Overall, he just does a great job keeping range, though. Keeps the body. He has an insanely high fight IQ. Like how he set up that knee on Cheeto. He feinted a right straight, I believe. Cheeto ducks down. He throws the knee right into his head as he's moving down. Same with Kai Sakura. His tool bag's crazy deep. On top of that, he has the power. He's super lanky for his weight class. I don't see anyone out striking him at bantamweight for a while. Some people will say like Corey Sandhagen, but dude's hardly even a striker anymore. He panic wrestled against Rob Font. And then, like I said, Sean O'Malley had Piotr Jan shooting for legs. Behind Sean, I would say Piotr's the second best. His tool bag's insane as well. But he's just very susceptible to takedowns and body shots just because it's high guard. Other than that, though, those two are definitely pretty close. But like I said, I got to give Sean the slight edge. And I'll definitely say he's the best striker at bantamweight. For featherweight, this one's easy. It's got to be Ilya. Now, he doesn't have the deepest tool bag necessarily. He doesn't really utilize kicks all too much. He's mostly a boxer, but he's knocked out two of the best strikers in UFC history in general, and probably the top two featherweights of all time. He knocked him out cold, both of them. Max Holloway's never technically been dropped, and he's knocked him out. Volk, he was coming off a knockout, obviously, but even still, KO over someone at Volk's caliber is always going to be impressive. Ilya just has insane power, insane footwork, insane pressure. He has a way to always find his power shots. He was getting tagged up by Max and Volk. He'll always find his shot. He has like a magnet in his glove that goes to the chin. Some people would say like Yair, but Volk hurt Yair on the feet, and Max also tagged up Yair a good amount on the feet. So I don't think Yair's the best candidate, and Arnold Allen's also pretty good, but he's not as deep as Ilya. I don't believe. Arnold has a lot of potential, but for now, it's got to be Ilya, the featherweight king. At lightweight, speaking of Max Holloway, he's easily the best lightweight striker. Just look at what he did to Gaethje. That was Gaethje coming off of a knockout win over Dustin Poirier. When's the last time someone knocked out Dustin Poirier like that? Was it Michael Johnson? It's been a while. Justin likely won the first round, and then he knocks out Poirier in the second. Clean head kick. Herb Dean doubles down on it with a people's elbow. Max Holloway took that Gaethje to a 5-round domination, hurting him multiple times, especially in the fifth. I think he knocked him down or stunned him like 2 or 3 times in the fifth, and then he had the crazy moment at the end, laid him out cold, which that moment was crazy. I don't want to take anything away from it, but it wasn't due to technique. It was just like technique was out the window in that moment, if that makes sense. I mean, Holloway, he has insane output. His power is, I think honestly, it's gotten better. Knockout over Korean Zombie. pretty brutal knockout. He's coming off of a knockout versus Gaethje, so that's 2 knockouts in a row. Before that, he hasn't had one for a while. So he didn't even knock out Calvin Kattar, landed like 500 significant strikes, like the significant strike record on Calvin Kattar. Couldn't even finish him. First fight at lightweight, he's hurting dudes and finishing them. And then he's also got kicks. Like Sean O'Malley, he has good distance management. I think he's a little susceptible to like good boxing as Volk kind of exposed, but no one in the lightweight division is going to be on prime Volk's level of striking. Max's biggest test right now will be maybe a Hooker or like a Poirier. I don't know. I don't think there's too many strikers to be able to deal with him. You got Mauricio Rufy coming up the ranks. He could be a problem, but I know a lot of hardcores would say Islam's the best lightweight striker, but a lot of it's just due to the takedown threat. Poirier was tagging him pretty good, but without that, if it was just Islam Max stand and bang, give me Max 10 times out of 10. I think right now you just got to give him Charles, title eliminator. I think him versus Makhachev would be a crazy fight. I really want to see it. I want to see Max become champ again. He's one of my favorites, but he's insanely fun and his striking super fan friendly, high output. At lightweight, he's got some good power. He's a problem. For welterweight, now I would have said Wonder Boy a few months ago or maybe a year or two, but he's lost all his pop on his shots at this point. He just doesn't have the power like he used to, and his chin's gone as well. He's quick, crazy flexibility, insane technique, but his chin's gone at this point, and he can't really get hit. If he gets hit at all, he's done. So I got to give it to Ian Gary. Um, I just don't know who else should give it to. He has a deeper tool bag than JDM, who's primarily a boxer. Um, I guess. Oh, hmm. I would you consider MVP a welterweight or a middleweight? Oh, that's good. If you're considering Michael Venom Page a welterweight, he's 100% the best striker in this division. Um, no one has anything for him on the feet at all. He turned Ian Gary into a wrestler, so I completely forgot about him. It's kind of hard when they're going in between weight classes. You kind of forget, but yeah, I guess he would be considered a welterweight. So it's got to be Michael Page. Plus Ian Gary, while he has more pop on his shots than someone like a Wonder Boy, he's got the soy boy power. He's not eating meat for whatever reason, not optimizing his nutrition recovery. Humans are omnivores, so that's beyond the point, though. At welterweight, it's Michael Page. He's no one's outstriking him if they're just standing on the feet. And look at what he just did to Shara. Shara was just. I picked him, by the way. Look at my video. I knew it would happen, but he made Shara look like a fool. Shara didn't have anything for him. So welterweight is Michael Page. Middleweight, I don't care what anyone says. It's Sean Strickland. He was outstriking Dricus. Dricus only won that fight because of takedowns, not because of the striking. If he didn't mix in any of the takedowns, Strickland 100% would have won. I still think he won, but that's besides the point. Let's see. He outstruck Adesanya for 4 rounds, dropped him. I think Adesanya got the second, just a little outdamaged a little bit, but 4 or 5 rounds he outstruck one of the greatest middleweight strikers of all time, who we saw still has it, as he was outstriking Dricus and he beat Imavov in the first round pretty easily. And let's see, she just outstruck Costa, boring fight, whatever, 49-46, knocked him down. But it's got to be Strickland. As I said in the beginning of the video, he hits and he doesn't get hit. That's his biggest thing. It's so hard to hit Strickland and find his chin, unless you're Alex Pereira and you got the nuclear left hand. But for anyone else, they're going to have trouble finding Strickland. I think other notable contenders in this division, though, would be Shara, MVP, if you're going to say he's a middleweight. Israel Adesanya, obviously. I don't want to say it, but I feel like you got to say Dricus, too. He's like, I'll give it to him. It works. What he does works. So we got to put him up there. But middleweight is Sean Strickland. For light heavyweight, is anyone surprised? No one in the light heavyweight division is beating Alex Pereira on the feet. I mean, this is just like a known fact. There's not even much to debate. Honorable mentions, obviously, Yuri, Roundtree, Carlos Alberg. Like, dude, look at Jamal Hill. He was one of the top guys, moving around the cage like he's drunk, like he's crossing his feet all over each other. He's just so sloppy. But Alex Pereira just levels ahead of everyone. His power, his technique, his distance management. That round 4 against Khalil Roundtree, he's literally in the Matrix. She was dodging punches by this much. Dude, Alex Pereira is a whole different beast. Sam Glazing, I don't care. It's just the fact of the matter. No one's going to do anything to him on the feet in light heavyweight. The only way to beat Alex Pereira this moment in time is takedowns because no one's outstriking him. Plain and simple. It's just the end of the story. For heavyweight, I'm not going to be like one of these new guys that, since he arguably lost the fight to Volkov due to the grappling, I'm going to say now all of a sudden I'm going to say he's not the best striker at heavyweight. Best heavyweight striker is Cyril Gane. He doesn't have the most pop, but his technique is just insane. It is a bad look. He got dropped by Tai Tuivasa, but look at the beating he put on him. That was Tai Tuivasa at his peak form too when he's doing very well. And then obviously Jones, his striking tool bag is insane, but he really has no pop. Like worse than Gane's. Plus he's not as fast as Gane. And then you got Aspinall, who's just as fast as Gane, more pop than Gane, but his technique is not all there. He's always swinging with his chin in the air. He kind of has like a brawler style barroom. Cyril Gane, by the way, did beat Francis Ngannou. In case it wasn't clear, he did much more damage via striking and submission attempts, and his only like actual true loss is to John Jones, the greatest fighter of all time, via first round submission. So he just pretty much shot right away, which John Jones, amazing game plan, super high IQ fighter, fair enough. But heavyweight, it's got to be Cyril Gane. Don't try to tell me someone else. You know, Robelis de Spain had his little heyday. I think Cyril Gane still would have beaten him. Yeah, there's just not anyone on the feet for Gane. If anyone wants to beat Gane, they're going to have to mix in takedowns. Look at his only 2 losses if you count Ngannou, but he turned Francis Ngannou into a panic wrestler. Scariest striker, right? Panic wrestler. So it's Cyril Gane. I really would have trouble understanding any other opinions for best heavyweight striker, but if you have any other ideas, let me know in the comments. That's all I had for today. Like I said, if you agree or disagree, please let me know in the comments. I respond to all the comments. And if you made it this far, please like and subscribe. And I really appreciate you watching. And I'll see you next for the UFC 312 breakdowns.